How are you, bro? Good to see you. All righty.
Hey, I'm sorry, I got to open up. I was mistaken. I didn't know you were like a representative?
I am.
I swear you look like a cast member from Friends.
Hey, thank you, baby. Thank you.
Doesn't he?
I left the power tie off. And if I could
What the hell are you doing in Congress? You should be like surfing and picking up chicks. What's your problem?
I know.
Well, I believe they do that in Congress.
Hey, not us, not us. I actually, I got to tell you, I think it'd be very appropriate if you'd get up right now and sing Happy Birthday, Mr. President. Marilyn Monroe style.
In private, she did. In private. None of your business.
Okay. I'm sorry.
And, Paulie, did you notice the congressman has no socks?
Sorry.
Yes. Neither did Mike Tyson.
You're getting me in trouble.
You're like the most laid-back congressman. I mean, if I ran into you in the street, I'd stick you up.
Hey, yeah.
I would.
That's right.
Now,
Paul, be nice.
You're going to have to give up.
Let me tell you something.
I'm so glad you brought up stick-ups, because our first issue has to do with guns. Wasn't that smooth?
That was good segue.
Now, this is interesting, because down in Louisiana, where
Nothing surprises me in Louisiana. Kingfisher, come on, these people are married.
But they have a law now called the Shoot the Carjacker law. Now, we all don't want to be carjacked, but this law basically says, and it went into effect this week, that if you're sitting in your car, you can shoot somebody.
What's the problem? And the problem is,
The problem is a guy who probably doesn't know anything about valet parking.
You know, I think this law was passed to stop derelicts who wash your windows without permission.
And they
don't stop them permanently.
Well, let me speak. I think that it's if you feel threatened in your car, and you pull up to a stoplight, and your kid's next to you, and you're blocked in, and a guy comes up with a pipe or a gun or a knife, I think you have every right to defend yourself against this guy if you cannot get away. I mean, I think this law is to protect women even more than men.
Well, you know, I was just trying to be funny, and of course guns are very, very serious, but there's some people that deserve shooting. You and I agree on that, am I right?
Yes, we agree.
Although you and I are different, you grew up with a silver spoon in your mouth. And I grew up basically with a wooden.
The platinum.
That's right.
You won't have it for long in my neighborhood. Did I mention I'm a comedian, Ricky? Did I mention? Cheese and macaroni on Virgin Records. Sorry for the shameless plug, Bill, but I don't have your career.
Yeah. But anyway, it's a fairly dangerous law, I think. I mean, if you look at the history of law, usually you want to have a response that's equal to the threat. And unless somebody feels like they're about to get blown away themselves, when you allow somebody to take out a gun and blow somebody away to protect their property, it's frightening. And I say this as conservative Republican.
I got to say, I'm shocked hearing that call. I was sure you'd be defending me.
Well, you're a radical leftist. I'm shocked we agree on that. And I say.
Yeah, but she's a babe.
But that's right. That's right. Which we'll get to the babes of the White House.
And being a babe is more important than being a Republican.
That's right. I agree with that. But it's dangerous, and usually, I mean, you don't allow people to protect their property over other people's lives, and this could be dangerous.
I think it's a feel-good law. I mean, I really think it's going to have no practical implication on the street. I don't think it's going to really solve any crime. I am for it. I think it's a feel-good law. I think it's just to make the people, you know, that live in Louisiana feel safer.
It's a reactionary law.
Yeah, but what happens if a lady takes a wrong turn? Let's say an older lady takes a wrong turn into the wrong neighborhood. That happens in cities, and especially New Orleans.
Get a Thomas guy.
Somebody comes in, and they start washing the window, and for some reason she's scared. It's 11 or 12 at night. She takes the gun and blows the guy away. I mean,
says, I thought he was going to hurt me, and then she shoots him, and that's legal under that law. And first of all, what are people doing driving around Louisiana with guns in their car with their kids?
What are people doing in Louisiana, period?
Okay. You don't have the advertising from Louisiana.
People in Louisiana are just there long enough until the Mississippi swells down enough to get to Texas.
Gosh. Okay,
no,
whatever.
Come on. No, you've been to New Orleans. New Orleans is a great town. It's a fun town.
Hey, New Orleans is not Louisiana. I've been to, like, Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
You know, where like people like me are, like, you know, natural suspects.
Right.
I have no love
don't
for
you think
people that...
a law like this is sort of a license for racists and other kind of kooks who
Yes.
will just say...
like they don't have guns already. Wake up. These idiots in Montana, the militia and all...
It's very different. And now they are saying that if somebody approaches your car, you can shoot them.
No, if you feel threatened, you can shoot them.
Well, who's to say?
The person in the car can define what's threatening to them.
Right.
And a person like Paul walking up to their car with no malicious intent might to them appear threatening, and therefore it's legal.
See, I should be more worried than you people, and I'm not. You know why?
Let me tell you.
You know why? Because I'm packing heat now.
All right. I have to take a commercial. We'll come back after this. Okay, we're talking about the new shoot the carjacker law, which is a follow-up, by the way. It's a sequel. They had the shoot the burglar law down there, passed in 1993, and the result was a Japanese exchange student went up to somebody's house asking for directions, and they shot him and got acquitted.
Yes.
Because... What?
But let me tell you something. I mean, we're talking about different things here. When you're talking about somebody going into a house, that's
just knocking on the door.
Well, obviously, that was an extreme example. I mean, obviously, the law is intended for people that break into your house at night.
Yeah, but how about if you hate someone and you just invite them and say, look, the door is jammed, go through the window.
Yeah.
Bang, bang.
You've probably done that before.
I've seen Columbo episodes, you know, I know how to do this.
Yeah.
But this guy didn't even have to go through the window. All
No.
he had to do was knock on the door, and it was legal to shoot him.
The Asian student, that was a tragedy, right? But that law, the intent of the law was to get, if people came to your house at night, they were burglars, then you could defend yourself.
The thing about it is that someone once said this before, that if guns made you safer, America would be the safest country in the world. Guns do not make you safe. And listen, I personally have been shot at and shot back. And I'm not kidding you. The drive-by was invented around my neighborhood.
But Didi, will people that are criminals, will outlaws, listen to gun laws? Gun laws will only affect law-abiding citizens, people that follow the law.
No, but there's so many things happen with guns from people who are normally law-abiding, who happen to have a gun, and they act irresponsibly with the guns. Now, I know you remember the NRA, and the NRA... It has one useful purpose.
I thought we were going to be friends.
It has one useful purpose. It should teach people how to be responsible gun owners, and it does do that. Now, all the other crazy stuff it does, like lobbying for concealed weapon laws, so we can all walk around the street with guns legally inside of our shirts, it makes no sense.
Let me tell you what makes no sense.
Need a license to drive a car, they should have to have a license to own a gun.
When I went to Congress 3 years ago, you have to have a license. You do have to have a license to own a gun. But let me tell you something.
You do not have to have a license to own a gun in this country, and one of the reasons is the NRA has lobbied like crazy against it. You have to have a license to hunt. You have to have a license to carry a concealed weapon, but I can walk into Kmart and buy a gun today.
Oh, yeah, like you would be seen at Kmart.
I can tell you in Washington, D.C. has the toughest gun laws in the country. The toughest gun laws in the country.
Highest murder rates.
And one of the highest murder rates. And you have Marion Barry saying, you have the mayor of Oz saying...
Before or after the crack pipe?
It was during the crack pipe. You have the mayor of Oz saying that but for the murder rates, and but for all the murders in Washington, our crime rate's pretty good.
Yeah.
It is the worst murder rate. And I'll tell you, I live 3 blocks. I live 3 blocks from the Capitol. Now, they don't allow anybody in Washington, D.C. to have gun laws. And I'm going to tell you, it's about as dangerous as the neighborhood you live in.
Where do they go to get their guns,
people came in to the neighborhood 3 blocks away.
I'm kidding you. I live in Beverly Hills.
Okay. knowing that there are tough gun laws, knowing that we didn't have guns because we couldn't afford to break the law, and we were sitting ducks. People got mugged every night. So if gun laws...
We had national gun laws so that people couldn't go across the bridge a mile away to Virginia or Maryland to get their guns, then there wouldn't be so many guns.
There are 200... Criminals are going to listen to gun laws?
No, but why do you think there's a black market?
Let me tell you gun laws. That is the same thing that the NRA always says. Are criminals going to listen to gun laws? Criminals... Listen, do you realize that more children get shot by the gun that mom and daddy left on the drawer than anybody else? You know that?
I have 3 kids. You know that? I own about 16 kids.
God forbid.
And you're responsible
God forbid the day that anyone...
like me, and you should
but let me
God forbid the day that you leave that gun there, and God forbid the day that anything happens to your child. That day...
Unloaded. There's no way my kids are going to have access.
Your guns are safe and unloaded? then what in the you want them for?
They're in a safe because I'm not going to get robbed. I live in Colorado on a ranch.
What problem do you have with getting a license?
Let me tell you what. If you have
gun owners, because if responsible gun owners like you would go get a license, pass a safety test, know that they store their ammunition and their guns separately and keep them away from their children.
There's no such thing as
if you have gun laws. Let's say you have a national gun law that you're talking about having. I think you're drunk right now. I think anybody. You know, if we have
Congressman, I have to take a commercial, but we'll come back to your point. Let's continue talking about this, because, Rick, you said something interesting. You said they would never be able to stop the guns from getting to the criminals. If, by that logic, how come we fought a drug war for the past, I don't know how many years, where they seem to think that they can stop the drugs by doing that? How can you have one case and not the other?
You do the best job you can do, but you still have it smuggled in. You have a national gun law. You have people that have been at the White House that are Chinese arms dealers.
Shouldn't they say we can't stop drugs either?
Because that's a suck-ass answer. Answer the question.
That hurts you, baby. That hurts you because it's the truth.
You know the problem with you Republicans?
Chinese arms dealers in the White House.
The problem with you Republicans is that you went to some Ivy League bitchin' school where they taught you how to talk.
Oh my God!
You know, and
let me tell you something.
Can I tell you something? I'll tell it to you in Spanish. Mira, déjame decirte una cosa. Tú no entiendes nada ni nada. Tú no entiendes saber español. And there's no way you can be from Florida and not know Spanish.
There's no Ivy at the
Cuba now. Did you know that?
Man, there's no Ivy at the University of Alabama. All the elites are now liberals in the White House. I mean, we're
the University of Alabama, where like black Americans couldn't go there in my lifetime. Is that the Alabama that you're proud of?
That's the Alabama that I had a black roommate my senior year. Yeah, that's
some of your best friends are black, huh?
Boy, I'll tell you what. You know how to use the race card. I can't wait to.
I'm Johnny Cochran. I started race.
That's right. I think he was the one whispering to Johnny Cochran.
What are you pinning all of our racial problems on this one guy?
Because he's here.
Because the University of Alabama. Yeah. Okay, let me get the scorecard right, okay? If you're from Louisiana, you're a racist. If you're from Alabama, you're a racist. Tell me, where are the enlightened people?
Right, but you're not prejudiced.
But you're not prejudiced. It's them that are prejudiced.
I started it all.
Walking billboard for reversing affirmative action, baby.
I started it all, right?
Yeah.
I started
it all. You started it all.
I'm the one.
I want you to play this out to the 21st century. Use it all you can use it, okay?
If I wasn't for gun control before, I am.
You know what?
But I have to say, I think you are prejudicial. I think you have to judge everybody individually, and you know, unless you know what somebody's politics are, because as I was about to say before, Abraham Lincoln was a Republican. Yeah. Now, I mean, he had something to do with the race issue.
He wouldn't be one today, though.
Oh yes, he would.
You know.
Yeah, but a lot of people today say that Bill Clinton should be a Republican because he acts like one. So it's very interesting the way. Oh, please.
Congressman Joe Scarborough accuses him of being the biggest liberal to walk into the White House in a billion years.
No, I was pointing to you when I said that.
And the economy has never been better. Personally, I like Bill.
You know, as a Southern white male, we've been dealing with this for 30 years. I mean, seriously, you cannot say anything about anybody unless it's a Southern white male. And then it's a Dukes of Hazzard stereotype. It's Mississippi burning. Nobody ever does Massachusetts burning.
Stop making those movies, because I'm believing them.
Nobody ever did Massachusetts burning when they tried 20 years later to integrate South Boston schools. But the Southern white male continues to be the guy that can kick around. You can say poor white trash, that's okay. But if we started talking about
big-headed sympathies, though, Joe, I mean, you know, there still are like Ku Klux Klan museums in town squares in the South.
Oh, give me a break! Are you saying that stereotype
hanging from a poplar tree mean anything to you?
Say, I mean, this is a stereotypical racist viewpoint.
I have to agree. The stereotypes are coming from this side. You know, it's not.
Which is ironic. No, I've never heard that.
If you want people to judge you as an individual, don't you extend that same courtesy?
I'm just retaliating what I've gotten all my life.
What? 30? You never got that from me. Don't give it to me. Yeah. You don't know my background. You don't know what my roommate was. You don't know that I ran for class president at the University of Alabama, specifically to get minorities into student government. You don't know any of that stuff, so don't stereotype me.
All right, Mother Teresa.
All right. So now I'm Mother Teresa. Give me a break.
I have to take a break, and I will be joining the NRA. Tomorrow we're going to have Peter Coyote, Beth Lapidus, Representative Barty Frank, Lisa Schifrin, and a special appearance by Rodney King. No, I'm kidding. Paulie, I wanted to plug your album. It's called Cheese and Macaroni Uncooked, and I wanted to say, yes, sir?
I want to take a second and personally apologize to you. During the commercial break, I had you all wrong. I'm sorry.
No, I should have